Hello, visionary entrepreneurs, life changers. Welcome back to our Momentum Monday. Today we are live inside of our Facebook group, Abundant Entrepreneurs. Today is our episode 203. Today I want to ask you the question first is about your time. Okay, how many of you are thinking about the time is also your wealth? Actually, it's your biggest wealth. If it's not talking about like health, right? Similarly, like a health, many people say number one thing should be your health, but nobody really notices that time wealth. If you are smart on owning and building your time wealth, you actually also will know how to use your time wealth to contribute to your health so that you could own your health wealth as well. And last week, actually, I shared the 5 F's, life's wisdom. We talked about the 5 areas, right? Like first is your faith, and the second is your family, and the third is your fitness. This is related to health, right? And the fourth one is your finance, and then that's money. And many people just think about finance is money, but then we will talk more about it, how you can expand your mindset and perspective about that finance. Then the fifth is the fulfillment. So we talked about the 5 F's, the 5 F's wisdom, and many people really had that kind of a resolution, and they agreed with that, and also shared their insights. So today, I actually want to further expand from those 5 F's wisdom to really the wealth. And many people are thinking about the wealth. The first thinking is, they talk about people's net wealth and how much money they have, right? Or how much, like, for example, in the stock market, so many wealthy people, like rich people, like Elon Musk, right? Their big wealth is not really like the same, like a cash or like real estate. Majority is in the stock market. So that's why their net wealth is really like a how to say that, turbulent, right? During the recent, especially the Trump administration had all this kind of tariffs and different the policies, right? And that caused the economics very like influent, let's say, like it's in a very like a turbulent kind of a period, right? So that's why their net wealth is keeping up and down and up and down, and that's why also the number one richest person maybe not the number one anymore, right? It's just like every day people are paying attention about the stock market and all the like the Standard Poor and Dow Jones, all this kind of index is ups and down, and many rich people, they can within one day or within hours they can lose let's say billions of billions, like hundreds of even thousands of billions of dollars, right? So that's like quite tricky to talk about just money, wealth in the money. So today we want to expand your thinking and understanding about the wealth is actually have many dimensions, especially according to the 5 F's. 5 F's wisdom. And here we want to talk about related the wealth, how through those wisdom, right? The 5 areas, we actually expanded into 6 areas of our wealth. Is totally relevant to that wisdom. So first is really like with your faith. That faith is also your wealth. With that spirituality, with that enrichment of your life, that's a wealth majority of people actually ignored. And also other wealth area, right? And typically people were thinking about health, right? Health number one. Without health, you cannot do anything. So now people are like already gaining that kind of wisdom to take health as their number one wealth. So that's a very great one. So both faith and health. And then is your like a relationship, right? Including your family and your social relationships. That kind of like relationships is really a big wealth. Many people are struggling or felt like frustrations or like their happiness is like really hugely influenced by their wealth in this relationship area. Like even Bill Gates, right, lost his family because of the mistake he regretted that he made. That's a big loss, I would say. The biggest compared with his like billions of dollars of net wealth, this is the biggest loss of his life. And also like it's really like a pity of his success through his majority of his life, right? Microsoft is already 50 years and his foundation and has been doing philanthropy work for the world. It's great achievements, but unfortunately and pitifully, right, he lost a lot in his family relationship, especially in his marriage, and I would say that's a big loss of his wealth. Okay, and then the next one is your from the remember from the like I say the finance part is actually many people think of finance is just money, right? Actually, I want to expand this part of finance. It's not just money. Think about both time and money. Okay, time. That's why today actually I will focus on talking about no time wealth. Okay, so and then from this one finance, the next one is your fulfillment, right? The wisdom fulfillment is actually, if we measure that with like a wealth concept, it's really measure, you can use the impact and the value in generated for this world, right? That's like your impact and the effects, that your contribution to really give to this world, that can measure your fulfillment, right? It's not just like, yes, we have the inner fulfillment, but also you want to measure that from the outside impact as well, like how many people and how many like things and how many like how much values you really create in this world. That's like an impact. And even there's in the finance, there's a calling the concept and also study and research and practice. It's a very popular one now. It's called impact investment. So the money to invest in those sustainable areas, right? Like for our earth, for the protection and for our environment, and also for sustainability purpose. So that's like a big part of impact investment. So that's why so the 6 areas of wealth, from your faith, your family, and your relationships, social relationships, and from your health, and your time, and money, and your impact, right? The 6 areas of your wealth. And today I want to focus on talking about time wealth, because this one actually, this is like a thread line connected with all other dots together. Because what? Because time is your life, right? How you allocate it. And I would say also like time is your biggest assets. It's really your biggest assets, especially even for some people, they may not have when you do not even have like, or either you have good health or not, the time is still like your biggest wealth, so that you can, like, if you can wisely and smartly use your time, leverage your time, that you could actually increase wealth in all other areas. Okay, so for example, for faith, right, you want to build up your spirituality. You want to spend your time every day, have that time for your spirituality development, right, for your meditation, for your mindfulness, for that kind of practice. And also for your relationship, you also need the time to spend for your relationship building up, right? Spend the personal time for your family. Just you do not just use money to feed your family, right? And you need your personal time, your love, your energy to build that kind of relationship. And also for your health, right? You definitely need the time to take care of yourself, and it's also like build up your both from your spiritual mind and your physical, like body, your like that kind of health, right? It's like integrated health. You need definitely the time, and then like time itself, right? And also the wealth for the money part. For the money and like a finance part, right? You also need time to understand, to learn, and to do the like investment. We'll talk more about that. So the time, and then finally impact. That's also like your time, how you can like spend the time wisely and smartly, so that you can increase your value to contribute to this world, so you can increase your impact to the world, right? So the time is really the I would say the baseline. If you learn more about your time wealth, gain more wisdom and the best practice from it, then you can definitely increase your wealth in other areas. But we are not just talking about time, right? So we are integrate all the wisdoms together and the practice together. So you will see, like all the time is like the time wealth we're talking about is fully aligned with all other areas of wisdom and also wealth as well. So this is our focus, okay? Because this is where you can learn better to understand and use the time, and also serve your all the other areas to accumulate more wealth, okay, in all the areas. So the first, I would remind everybody about the time. You need first for you to better to learn and use your time to accommodate, right? Today we said like a compound your time wealth. You first need understand your like the why part, like why you want to use the time to serve what, right? You need to understand the target to serve, what your time you want to serve. So you need to first understand your purpose. So everything need to have the purpose, right? Especially for time. All your time should be like has a aim, has a purpose to serve. The time needs to serve your purpose instead of just like if you do not have a clarity on your purpose, then your time will be serving anything, right? So the top master should be that purpose, like your life's purpose, your life's fulfillment. Otherwise, your time, you will have no clue how to guide your time, how to build up the limit of a time, and how to use the time for your freedom, right? So you need to first understand your purpose. So then eventually your fulfillment and freedom will be really aligned with that purpose. That will be the best guidance for your time to be used, okay? So the why part is the number one most important thing to start to understand what your life's purpose here is and what you want to focus on, okay? So your purpose should guide the targets, the visions, all the goals you want to pursue, and then your time will have a direction, right? So the direction and that guidance, the North Star is the super important, right? The most important thing. You will not be then blind, like with the blindness, they say, oh, where should I spend my time, right? For example, people now with the social media can spend hours play. I occasionally, when I forget my big purpose, right? I just want to have some entertainment or just want with a curiosity, right? We are human beings. Our nature is curiosity. So we want to have some relaxation and curiosity. So we'll spend maybe hours on the social media, like short videos. That's why the short video is so popular, from TikTok to Facebook to YouTube, right? All these kind of social medias are trying to pushing you into those it's a little bit like a trap, right? It sounds like interesting, but if you forget about your big purpose, big picture, then you will really indulge yourself into those hours of random kind of a consumption of the social medias, and including even AI now creating more fancy stuff, right? So you can easily get all these kind of distractions and lose your focus, lose your purpose, right? So this is super important. I want to remind everybody. So clarify your purpose and clarify your focus, what you want to focus on, right? For example, every day, with all these kind of distractions, you need to refocus every day. Remind yourself the first thing in the morning. Remind yourself what is your purpose here in your life here, and what is it today's focus, today's top priorities, like top 3, not be over top 3. Okay, if it's too much, you will forget, right? You could not focus on it. So sometimes we would encourage people even focus on just even one, okay? 1 to 3, up to 3. Initially can start with 1 if your muscle is not strong enough yet, right? Just focus on one thing. Normally just one thing people can focus on, okay? Not one specific goal that you want to achieve today. For example, today, this Momentum Monday is one of my top 3, I would say. I want to fulfill it today, and then based on this and how I can add more values to reach more people, right? To build up that connection. So that's my top priorities now every day. And for example, the rest of the week, I may not do the live one, but I will to remind or present and repurpose this content and the wisdom and the practice, and to make it expand the value, to repurpose and make it more valuable, and to make it more impactful, to get more people to understand and reach out to more people, and to spread this kind of the knowledge and the wisdom and my presence to the world, and to really build up that authority for myself in abundance area, right? So that is my daily priorities, and especially build up deeper connections and really genuine connections with other people, and the right people for me to serve them. So that's my top priorities. Okay, to inspire, to empower, to connect, and also really serve people. So, and what is your top priority today? For example, Monday, right? Starting with Monday, you want to gain that clarity from your purpose to your goals, right? Your focus, your priority. Okay, the next one. What's your next one? So from the purpose one. The next one, you want to have the conscious like a mindset about your time. Just now, many people are talking about your mindset, about the money, and right, your mindset about really like they talk about more about the finance part, right? But here we want to also talk about the mindset about the time. I found many people miss this point. So many people they take the time. They say between, for example, between the choice. Let's if people give them like say how much you would like to pay for, let's say for freedom. And majority of people may say, oh, my freedom is a time is a priceless, right? I would not treat my freedom. But once you get into daily living and practice, and many people forget about this top thing, they lose that consciousness. Then they would what? They would, for example, they would work, and forget about time, forget about, for example, even people forget about the eating. And sometimes they read this news, right? People get sick, people get like even passed away because they did not pay enough attention to take care of themselves. That kind of time, right? So many people, when you get into your work, you forget about yourself, and you like majority of the time people are feeling forced or pushed that they have to, right? Especially the majority of people are working for other people, so they feel like they have to do it. If they do not do it, like according to their boss requirement, according to a company's requirement, according to the society's like demands and all those obligations, they feel like they could not, like how to say, they feel like they have to, they must. And many people, like they put themselves, their time, their freedom in the practice, right? They put it at the bottom. They sacrifice themselves, sacrifice their time, sacrifice their health, and including their peace, right? Sacrifice their peace for other people, to work for other people, to satisfy other people, and especially people like initially like me, right? We call like a people pleaser. We want to keep that harmony. For me, I'm a collection person type of person. A relationship is super important for me, so I always like previously I remember I always try to please other people and to take good care of them, especially as a mom, as a wife, right? I try to take best care of my husband, my kids, and always put myself at the end. And for a few years, like previously, I had a big issue with my health, right? And I feel like exhausted, feel like I was like almost like empty for serving other people. I would squeeze myself. I keep squeezing myself till I had no time for myself. I still remember quite sometimes at the end of the day, right, I was super exhausted and finally put kids into sleep, and I was exhausted lying on the sofa to gain some energy and to back for me to keep get up and to like clean the house or whatever, it's like clean the kitchen and do the house chores, and then get back to my work to do my entrepreneurship work, right? So I felt like for those years, like, and then my health get that warning, right? I had a problem with my worms, with my like blood system, everything. Like at one time I remember quite a few years ago, I lost so much blood, right? I had a bleeding issue with my period, with my the thing, and then I get to my like how to say my blood, my red blood, the volume, you get to almost like a half volume of a normal person. My face, my whole body was super pale, and I had no energy. And normally I was like previously I was quite a healthy person, right? But all these kind of years of like a family and also then the work, entrepreneurship work, made myself like almost like a really like an empty, like a sick person. I remember one time the most how to say, the most severe time of my healthy situation, the doctor suggests me to get rid of my whole worm system, and asked me to like lie down, and asked me to that they gave me like for example, when I went back to China to visit my parents, I was so pale and exhausted. I had only half volume of the red blood, right, cells. So the doctor asked me to lie down immediately. I went to emergency, by the way, and they gave me like 3 bags of blood transferring. And I thought that's my weakest time. And getting myself to reflect, oh, I even remember that kind of long-term international flight was like a nightmare. Like one time I still remember that clearly. I could not barely sit there. It's like over 13 hours during that time. Now I know the international trips could be over 25 hours, right, to going back to China. And this summer we're going back now. But now I know I have that energy. But during that time, my God, I remember every minute sitting there in that chair. It was like a nightmare. I was like, I just want to die. That time, my whole body is so painful and weak, and my bone, my muscles everywhere, especially my back, my bottom, and like it's like my spine is super sore and like and painful. I just want to die during that time. So I kept going to the bathroom to, let's say, to change my like my sitting posture, right? So I could have my blood system to circulate a little bit. It was a nightmare. It's super painful. I just remember during that time, I just want to die. And okay, so that's like a deep lessons to myself to reflect why I get myself a healthy, a super healthy, energetic person into that kind of situation, right? So I swear to God, I said, God, please, I would never going back to that kind of situation. So since then, I started to do all this kind of abundance meditation and activation, the energy healing. The energy healing, I do all this kind of but including massage and yoga and all this kind of like abundance from a meditation from the mind to my whole body's massage and stretching, all these kind of activities, right? I developed this through all these years, now 8 years already. I developed my own way of the abundance meditation activation. And now I fully own my energy. So that big lesson taught me how to better use my time. So now we're getting back to the wisdom, right? The way how we can accumulate and compound our time wealth. It's really need that have in addition to why and your focus, you need to understand the consciousness of your time. Okay, that kind of a value. Build up the value mindset about your time. Your time is your life. Definitely. Your time is your life. Value it. Do not be pushed or pulled or dragged by other people's agenda, because they're always like, including your family's agenda. Okay, you need to have that kind of a build up, that kind of the next one we'll talk about boundary, right? So here I first want to say that mindset is like you need to have boundary. That kind of mindset is like you need to have that balance. You need to respect yourself, respect your time before others do. Okay, you need to respect that first before others can learn. They could learn and to be taught by you to respect your time and your values. Okay, so that's why when you respect your own life, your own health, and put yourself as really number one of your life. If you do not take the best care of yourself, if you do not value your time enough, other people will just they're not like mean, right? They're not just selfish. They just like it's naturally they will take more time from you, because everyone has their own needs. And if you do not respect and build a boundary around yourself, and other people can easily take use. And it's actually by your own willingness, right? It's not their fault. It's your own fault. I always remind myself, okay, do not blame other people. You take full responsibility of your own time, your health, your value, everything, right? If you do not respect enough, how you expect other people to respect it? They would just take whatever resource they have to feed their own needs. It's totally natural. It's not their fault, okay? But you need to build the value system and the conscious like mindset about your time's value. So you protect it, you make it like a priceless, you make it precious, so other people will respect yours. Okay, so that's the second part about your like the how to say the money, the time wealth building wisdom. The third one is actually like we just talked about the mindset. Right now it's really like the practice of for you to build up your boundary. The boundary is super important. Is like the boundary need to be specific. Give you a very simple example. For example, recently me and my kids were like trying to find the opportunity for him for my freshman college freshman son to help him get like a internship, summer internship opportunity. So we got some good referrals and contacts, but the other side, they are successful already. Okay, they are very successful, and but they always say, oh, okay, like call me at this day. Oh, okay, I will call you back maybe the next day. Okay, so it's already over 1 week. still did not get time to talk with those people, because even though they are successful, they are super busy. And their boundary, I would say, they still can, even the successful can still learn how to improve their efficiency and boundary. Because they say, oh, call me this day. That's a whole day. For example, Tuesday, right? Tuesday is a whole day. They never specify what time to call them, or like what time they want to call back, right? So that's actually that's a painful process. So through the whole week, back and forth, daily follow up from my side, from my son's side, we have not still not get their full time. And today is another reason. And for example, medical or emergency, I was wondering why they get a medical emergency, right? I pray for them, but just from this kind of behavior, you can see, oh my God, people is not really treating their time as priority, treating or respect other people's time, right? So, and now because we are asking for help, so of course we have to respect theirs. But one thing, even in this kind of situation, okay, other side is more like with more authority, they have the resource, and you have to seek their help. So how you can still build a boundary? I just taught my son as well. You can still, okay, you cannot change other people to change their behaviors or change their their habits, but you can definitely guide them to respect yours. So for example, they say, oh, call me tomorrow. Okay, I will reply that, okay, thank you, I will call you tomorrow at, for example, 2 p.m. So let other people know my time, my availability, or if they say they will call me back, so then I also told my kids to reply them, right? For example, what time slot you have the classes in the college, you are not available, right? So you will specify during what time you are available, what is your convenience, right? So you use yours, you build your boundary to teach the other side to respect yours. So be specific. So the first build on your you value your own time. So you build up your specific boundary, let other people know your availability, your convenience, so they will learn to respect yours. So that's my way in this kind of play, right? It's just like back and forth, even though you cannot decide other people's behavior and their time because everybody is super busy, but at least you build up your own boundary, let other people know what's your boundary, what's your time availability. Okay, so that's one small example, and there's many ways to build up your boundary. For example, like when to say no, right? That's super important. When we say most, like yes, you want to say most yes, but when you really feel like you're drained, it's really inconvenient for you, and if you have sometimes, right, you have multiple meetings or multiple events or like a time to things you want to choose based on, that's why we've started with your why and focus. And you want to choose, like, for example, sometimes it's other people's agenda, they want you to do something, but then you have your own agenda, right? Like what is your priorities? So you want to respect first your own your priorities more than other people's respect, their priorities. Like people will say, oh, this is urgency, this is that they want you to help them. Yes, we will do our best to help others, but when there's a time conflict, when your time, during this time, you've already had some opportunity or events, you think it's more or appointments, you think it's more important to you for your purpose, for your focus, for your values, then you will learn to say no to other people, to let them understand why. Okay, why you have this kind of things you need to do. So you build up kind of respect to your priority of your own needs, your own values, for other people to respect that. Okay, so the boundary is super important. So that's the third one, right? From why to conscious mindset and to your boundary. And now next one is your quality. The quality part is why that's why the quality is super important for you to become the controller of your agenda, the full controller, the owner of your agenda, okay, of your calendar, especially calendar. I love Google Calendar. I've been using it for years, and I taught my kids to use the Google Calendar as well. Now they are also a good a controller or a master, a owner of their own time slots. Especially my daughter, I'm so proud of herself. She put everything in different colors as well. Like I taught them different categories and different color and different appointments. Some are related to study, some are related to the social, let's say social events, right? So and other is for her, let's say extra curriculum. kind of activities, right? So we all have that. So I'm super happy that we become the owner of our calendar. So now initially, right, when I had another business like in finance area, so I had coaching and finance, and I thought, oh, this is overwhelming. I do not have time, and in addition to take care of the kids, right, the house, everything. So I felt like it's a little bit overwhelming. But after I sort out everything on my calendar, I feel like, oh, now it's more manageable. And more now, I feel like, wow, I regained all my freedom now. I even have extra time to arrange for my, what some like kind of entertainment or what kind of like personal things I want to do, right? So I have that extra time now. So I feel like super happy for my time management. So now for you to practice that quality, so make sure that double check all your, to make appointments. First is like make appointments, okay, with others, but also with yourself. I first, here the little tips for you, okay? And the key is make appointments first with yourself. Okay, that's like a practice of the priority. Put your own agenda and your priorities as a real priority. Okay, want yourself the most. Okay, yeah, you need to serve yourself first. If you do not serve yourself, how could you serve other people as well, right? So you think about in the airplane that kind of get yourself the oxygen before you help others get their oxygen. Eventually, is for the wellness, for the best benefits of everyone. Okay, so that's like a fundamental. I want everybody understand it's a fundamental concept and wisdom as well. So now you want to book calendar of your own appointments with yourself, including, for example, I put all the reminders, not just appointments, okay, reminders about those important, let's say, dates, right? My family members and close relatives, their birthdays, and important family events. And for myself, what time slots I want save for myself, including my morning, right? My meditation, my personal practice, everything. I make sure that I gain the best energy before I can serve other people. So I put even my personal care time as my priority. I book on my calendar. So those time slots, nobody can take mine, okay? So for example, even during the weekends, I do not work. I normally, majority of the time I do not work, except one client once asked me to, because he's super busy through the whole week, asked me to open 1 or 2 spots for him, the coaching during the weekend. I did that a few times. But I still encourage, right? Majority of other things I only put in my work days. So weekends, I'm purely for my family and for myself, right? For myself and for my family. I should say in that sequence. So purely for me and my family. And work days, then I also put like, for example, morning time, what the time is for my personal care, my personal energy time, my personal reflection, whatever. It's like you choose those time, okay? So after I make an appointment for myself, and also after what time, for example, you have the boundary, okay? Remember what time you want to start work and what time you want to like finish your work. For example, by 5 p.m. I want to finish all my work, right? I do not make appointments, definitely after 5 p.m. no appointments. That's my family time. I would prepare for dinner, whatever I love, like homemade dinner, right? It's like more healthy. So it's just you put at the boundary. What's your work time? After that, nobody will become my, like, I have no boss, right? I'm my own boss. You need to have that kind of mindset, especially for entrepreneurs. Even for people who work for company work, you have your bosses. You still need to put that boundary. After what time hours, you are your own boss, okay? So you would, even though that the boss or company will not be satisfied with you, maybe you will like, oh, say, you may feel like you will be fired because you build that kind of boundary. If that kind of company, I would encourage you to be fired, right? You get a package and go to another company or prepare for that kind of a transition, okay? So anyway, the point is put yourself as a number one and take good care of yourself and put that boundary of your time, hours, and you teach other people to respect your time. Okay, so that kind of put everything on the calendar in the sequence, in the priority. And on your calendar, let me remind myself, on the calendar, the boundary is like the most important thing is do not feel like being pushed or by other people. Once you start to learn to have more control of your calendar, become the master of your time, and teach other people to respect, and you have clear boundary, right? And like earlier I mentioned about have the specific boundary, specific time as well. Now your quality is like every time lot on your calendar should have a meaning. all the appointments should have a meaning. The meaning means what? Serve your purpose, serve your big picture. Do not just be like randomly serve other people's agenda. You should always, your time notes should always serve your big picture, your why, okay, your purpose and the value. And also this, especially you have your value system for your quality. How can you make sure that your time slots, everyone has the meaning, has the quality? It's like when you align your time with like every time slots, okay, align with your value system, then you will be satisfied. Otherwise, if it's conflict with your value system, you will become like dissatisfied and you will feel the time is wasted. So that's why you need to first understand, right? First the purpose, and then you understand your own value system. For example, I put, according to the wisdom I just mentioned at the beginning, the 5 F's wisdom. That's a great guidance for you to as a reference to guide your the values, right? Like I put my faith number 1. I put my family like just behind my faith, right? So I need to first have my faith and also keep building my faith, but I never sacrifice my family's benefits, right? So I always put my families as my priority as well. So, and myself is part of the family, okay? Don't forget yourself, okay, as part of the family. So you always put me and my family together, our benefits as the top priority. So do not sacrifice our health, our benefits as well. And then your value system, right? Your health, your fitness, and your, let's say, your finance, your money, and including your time now, right? And your fulfillment, your impact for this world, the contribution. So when you have this kind of a like a value system, and also according to the priorities, then the time lots when you allocate or make appointments on your calendar will have the guidance, will have this boundary and all this value systems guidance, right? You have a good the system to refer for you to build up like appointments that will be meaningful and valuable for you and for other people as well, right? So now the last one I want to talk about, how to like compounding your time wealth, is really how you can gain more freedom and also mastery on managing your time. Okay, so you need to, like earlier we said, learn how to say more yes and no, right? Especially the no's. When you build up that boundary and the quality time appointments, then you know how to say no to other things. And to have that, build up that kind of freedom is build up the full control of your time, okay? Because time is really your life. So you have the full control of your life. And the one important part is also like today we're talking about the compounding, right? Many people heard about this concept in finance area. So now to have your time compounding, you also actually need to learn more finance knowledge, financial planning for you to, because if you do not have money, then you will feel very constrained, right? If you have to struggle for your living, have struggled for make a living, right? So you do not have money, you struggle here and there, you have to pay your bill, then you do not have the freedom. So the time freedom also associated with the money freedom as well. So that's why you need to manage them together, okay? It's not just either or, it's really together, the balance. So you want to always, when you manage your time, you want to manage your money as well. The together is really, that's why I said together, they fit in that kind of a finance wisdom. So when you learn, you want to learn more finance knowledge, especially your financial planning, the personal area. Like in the school, for example, even MBA, we learned about finance is more for corporate finance. Even though I worked for performance management, right, in the Fortune 100 company, the majority of the time is like corporate finance. But now you need to learn more in the private zone, right? Learn about how to do your personal finance, budgeting, and finance planning, and plan for the future, investment, everything, right? I would encourage you to learn to not to, like, for example, do the, many people like risky investment. They do daily trading and they pay attention, like every day the stock market is up and downs, and they have to be busy to, oh, where's my portfolio? How do I should transfer my money in or out, or should sell or like buy? Every day, if you put too much into the risky, I'm not saying you do not do the risky, right? But you need to build up better foundation. So that's why learn financial knowledge and planning knowledge is super important. You want to learn first about the foundation. How do you do more like a portfolio? It's put more majority part of your portfolio on the safety, more safety type of investment, right? Like build up your retirement, to build up your more like your family protection, like a life insurance, and also like annuities, retirement, and long-term care to cover those like risk of when you get any kind of things like make you could not be able to take care of yourself, right? It's not just like when you get old, even like an accident could cause you get into other situations. So you need to have all this kind of type of insurance covered, not just your home property like insurance, right? Or not just your like medical insurance. Medical insurance super important as well. So you should have all this kind of insurance covered, or car insurance, all right? And but also have your life insurance, have your like retirement well planned. So this kind of a foundation, and also your kids college education, everything you need to learn all this knowledge and combine them together to have like a good solid foundation of your portfolio, right? Majority in the safe one, so that you will not be bigly impacted by, for example, the Trump's administration or next presidential administration and different policies and big changes and the market's ups and downs, right? You will not have that kind of big risk exposure. And then with this kind of foundation, you can learn more about the higher level of like investment, right? Like and partially you could do some risky, but the risky part, you will not like make you feel like you're bleeding, and it will make you feel heart attack things, right? You can afford that kind of risk, like affordable analysis risk is okay. So this kind of fundamental things, and learn the financial knowledge, and then that actually will contribute to free yourself. For example, I did such kind of like learning and investment, and now I do not other people every day looking at the stock market. I do not worry about it at all, and I know I have safe return, and I have like a stable return. I have my retirement even covered, so I have my family covered. So I do not even, I have the peace of mind as well, right? Not just my time. I do not waste my time every day to look up all these ups and downs and all the research, right? So it's very like you need to have a smart investment. And many people, they do not learn enough and super busy because they're busy, right? They're busy in other things, but eventually what? They're busy in doing all other things that is not really bring them like a safe money return, and also do not bring them the peace of mind and occupy their time. You eventually lose what? Lose money and also lose your time freedom. So that's why I would encourage you to combine the time and the money together, right? Both are important, and build your foundation that you could gain midterm and long-term freedom in both your money and also your time. And I would encourage you to invest, like save more first. Save more, but not just save in the bank, right? You want to save more. For example, I would challenge you today to plan to review your portfolio, to save every, how to say, to spend more smartly. I'm actually a good spender. I'm quite proud of myself, my spending. I'm not pursuing any luxurious branding, or maybe except like we buy shoes, we buy good brand shoes. I would say like a leather, or like a good brand, like endurable sports shoes, for example, for kids. But I do not pursue any luxurious brand. I do not make up and like my accessories, right? All the things very minimum. But I input what? Majority of my money into my environment, into my house. Like big, beautiful house, $1 million. I like a beautiful community, garden community. I input my money in that. And I put a big money into my personal development, my business, like my personal growth. That's like they said, invest the money into your brain, right? Learning and the great mentors, and invest money into my kids, like their growth, both their health and also their how to say, their learning and their personal growth and their social involvement as well. So I put big money. Actually, many people would say, well, they will get wild or this much money I input there, but at the same time I saved a lot of money from pursuing any kind of a luxurious brands, right? So I get money, and now I feel very comfortable. I live a simple life, but I have abundant kind of like a, for example, nutrition supply. I put a lot of investment in my nutrition. If you see my grocery list, right, I'm quite an abundant buyer. I buy a lot of things, quite some like organic stuff and great health and no junk food, right? It's very smart one. We buy, for example, organic milk, organic eggs, organic, and I save money from other things. People may spend a lot of money by, for example, the bubble tea. I know it's popular. and a lot of from China as well. I do not want to ruin their business, but I know it's unhealthy. So I never even spend 1 penny on bubble tea outside. Occasionally, if I meet like partners or clients, I just buy some like a green tea, even organic tea I would prefer. So I only spend my money on healthy stuff, right? I would not spend my money on stupid, like really like I feel like stupid here. I want to be honest, right? I feel like those unhealthy stuff and like the fried stuff and bubble tea stuff is very unhealthy. Those sweet like cakes, all this kind of thing, people are making a lot of money, and I saw people getting in the line, waiting line to buy those kind of stuff, especially now our young people. So I taught my kids to always choose. Majority time they do that. Kids as kids, right? Sometimes occasionally they still buy junk food, right? I let them have their cheat day, but the majority of the time I know that they are the healthiest kids among their peers. So I'm happy that for that to build up such kind of a, like life choices and habits, it's really benefit your life, and including for your like investment, right? For your time spending, you want for your money and time spending, you want to spend on healthy choices, like healthy habits, build up healthy habits, right? To have the balance of your money and time on those things that will eventually add your health, contribute to your health, contribute to your energy, contribute to your values to other people as well, right? So that's kind of like a smart investment. So I also, especially for like financial vehicles, encourage you today to review and to add 10 to 20, I would say 10 to 20%. I actually invest a lot, like my monthly savings a lot. Like I'm a Chinese person, right? By the way, I love saving, but not save in the bank. I save my money for investment that will increase my midterm to long-term return. So give my both peace of mind and also free myself. That's the most important thing. Okay, free myself. So whenever I consider anything, the time is always my priority and align with my values, my why, and my time, right? Priorities. So whatever choices and decision you make, I hope you build up your value systems, your big picture, your why, your direction, right? Then allocate your time, build up your boundary, and manage your calendar smartly, right? So you know when to say yes and when to say no, and put all the make sure that your time slots all have their meanings, and eventually and finally, right, to become the master of your time, and to learn the financial knowledge as well, invest in more of your safety type of portfolios to build up this midterm and long-term foundation, so that you could create freedom, not just for now, but for the future, and for not just for yourself, but for your next generations as well. Okay, so that's for today's topic, compounding your time wealth. I hope it's inspiring and helpful to you. Let me know what's your best learning and inspirations and aha moment, maybe, and type on in the comment and let me know, and so we could have a continuous conversation and help you. And by the way, if you want to learn more, right, both on your personal development and how to build better your time wealth, and also how to own your own business, and including your own better foundation, the finance foundation, right? To become that master, to fully own your abundance, own your time and money freedom. So feel free to contact me. So we are here to support you. I also provide a free consultation. So feel free to find the link in my post to make an appointment with me, right? So we could have a further conversation. So I look forward to witnessing your owning your become the master of your own time, money, and your health, overall your wealth, the 6 wealth area we talked about. Become that master and fully own your happiness, your wealth, and your freedom. All right, we'll see you soon. Okay, take care. Bye bye.